Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Sassy Nana. I'm back to y'all with another video. So, I'm just getting off of work, and I had to let the dog out. I'm kind of full. I had to eat dinner, but I decided, you know what? I haven't been putting out content. And how am I supposed to make my YouTube grow if I don't put out no content? So I decided that I'm gonna do a story time. As you can see from the title, the story time is a date that went wrong, like a first date that went wrong, but the date went wrong, and instead of me taking the clues of the date going wrong and leaving the dude alone, I continued to talk to the dude, and then that ended up wrong, and that's how we end up here with the story. So I'm gonna try to make this story not too long but not too short, because I honestly don't like long videos, but then people tell me that they like long videos, so I'm gonna just try to have it in the middle. I'm gonna try to get to the point. What else I gotta say? Oh, please comment, subscribe, tell a friend. Come on, people like to be nosy, so come on, get in your girl business. So I'm putting it out there. People be asking all kind of questions, be trying to wonder certain stuff, be on my Snap and stuff, trying to peep, be on my Facebook. So, okay, anyway, that's besides the point. So, I guess I'm gonna start from if I look crazy, I'm sorry, y'all. Like I said, I just got off work. It is raining. But okay, let me just stop because it's gonna keep bothering me. Let me start y'all from the beginning. So, okay, let me start y'all from the beginning, how we met and everything. So I wanted to do a reality dating show. Ever since I was younger, I always liked to do I said like to do. Girl, you didn't like to do nothing. I always liked to watch I Love New York, Flavor of Love, For the Love of Bret Michaels, The Bachelor, The Real Chance of Love, anything a love show type of thing. I love to do. I said love to watch. I love to watch, and I wanted to do it. Dang girl, you wanted to do it that bad. You keep saying you love to do, but I wanted to do it. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it for real, but I'm gonna do it for YouTube. So I had decided that it was gonna be my two best friends, one of my sisters, my cousin, my mama, and my stepdaddy, and I was going to sign up for a whole bunch of dating apps and dating websites or whatever. And I was going to let them pick a dude for me, to go on dates with and stuff like that. And I was going to be videotaping it and, kind of like a little love series. But then the issue where we had with that was everybody lived in different states. I was living in Indiana at the time. My sister was living in Texas. My one best friend was living in Georgia. It was just kind of everybody was everywhere, and with those apps they do it for people in your area, so it will bring up if they logged in, even if it was my pictures and stuff, it was gonna bring up people in that area. Excuse me, I don't know, something in my throat. Okay, it was gonna bring up people in their area and not my area. So I'm like, you know what, we can't do it like that. So then time moves forward. I moved to Texas. And I'm like, you know what? This will be a great opportunity for me to really start up my reality love show, because I don't know nobody out here. It'll be a good time for me, to get to meet people. Don't nobody know me out here. I don't know these dudes. It's a clean slate, because when you be knowing people and knowing dudes and knowing their background, knowing who they used to mess with, knowing who they used to do this with, who this and that, you be you be kind of cool off of everybody. And it's I done moved a lot of places, side note, because of the military or whatever. So I just be knowing how a lot of dudes are in a lot of different places, and I be knowing dudes from everywhere, and I didn't like them. But anyway, back to the story. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it for Texas. So when I moved to Texas, I ended up start trying to try it out. So I get on this app, and that's where I met dude. His name is Andre. I'm gonna say his name because I don't care. Like, y'all ain't gonna know who Andre is. I don't have him on social media. He don't even got no social media. So before people be trying to go through all my friends and see like on my Snapchat friends and do whatever y'all trying to do, go on my Instagram and Facebook, he don't have social media and we were never friends, so y'all won't find him. And his name is Andre. So we had met on there, and honestly, I ain't gonna lie, I thought he was a catfish because when I seen the pictures, I'm like, oh, like he real fine. Like, okay, girl, look at him. And like his conversation, you know, we was flowing. What really made me take a liking to him was I had braids in my hair at the time, and I had told him like, he's like, what you doing? I'm like taking out my hair, and he's like, oh, okay, you know, like you want me to help you type stuff, and da-da-da. So the fact that he didn't make like a big deal of me like taking down my braids like most dudes do, like they say slick stuff or be childish, and he had said, you know, you want me to help you? I'm like, okay, like dude, pretty cool, he pretty cool. So time goes on, and he ends up saying like, you know, we should hang out type stuff, and I'm like, okay. So the thing is, like when I first got to Texas, and people on my Snapchat would tell you, I was going out like crazy because this was during COVID and nothing was really open. Like where I was living, like in Indiana and Chicago, like we had curfews, everything was closing at 7, like nothing was really open. So when I came to Texas, it was a whole nother ball game because stuff was open. Like it would close at like 2 in the morning, like, and stuff used to close at 4. So it was kind of like, you know, like life was still normal out here, whatever. So I'm like, okay. So long story short, it was a Friday and I had to work that day. So he was supposed to tell me earlier that week when we were going to hang out. So he tells me on Friday, like, hey, are you free today? Because like this is like my only free day, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, I gotta work though. What time you trying to meet up? He like 7. Now mind you, I get off of work at 5 o'clock. I was working from home and he knew that. So he just thinking like 7 o'clock is a good time. And I had to explain to him like, yes, I'm a female. Yes, I get ready quick, but I still have to take a shower. I still have to find something to wear. I still have to do my hair. And I still gotta drive to where you at. So 7 just ain't gonna work. So he basically had told me, like whenever I'm done getting ready to go, like, I don't know what's wrong, to go like meet with him or whatever. So I'm like, okay. So I was talking to my bestie, and long story short, so one day he had asked me what, I keep saying long story short, so rewind, He had asked me what was I doing. And I was like, I'm out. What you doing? So he sends me a picture of him, and he was like patting his son. And the picture did not look nothing like the pictures that he had posted on the app. So instantly, I am pissed. I'm like, bro, I done got catfish. I done said I was going out with this man. Like, and he is not who I thought he was. So now I'm frustrated. So if you know me, you know I am dramatic. I am very dramatic. So I was telling my bestie, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, you already know how I am. I don't want him thinking I'm a bad person. But if I don't like somebody, I can't fake it. And like, I'ma just be standing off and be too like, I was just overthinking. I'm a Virgo, so you know I'm an overthinker and be trying to be a perfectionist and stuff. And I'm very like true to that overthinking and trying to be a perfectionist. And she was like, girl, like just calm down. Like you could just go with him, but if it's not what you want, just say, like, just switch it up and say you just want to be friends and you was looking for friends. Just like, just do it like that. Like, get out there and go make you some new friends. So I'm like, okay, cool. You know, you have a point. So then, like, I'm kind of calm, but I'm still kind of nervous. So it's Friday, and I get off work, and, you know, I'm rushing to get ready, trying to figure out what to wear, this and that. I had found an outfit. I was real cute, too. My hair, I was, like, really feeling myself because that was the first time in a long time I actually got to, like, put on clothes because, you know, due to COVID. So, I get there. No. On my way there, he He texts me the address. So on my way there, I text him. I'm like, I'm 1 minute away, meaning basically like I'm there, like I'm about to park. He like, oh man, you here already? I'm like, yeah, why? I sent you the wrong address. What? I sent you the wrong address. It's to the right place, but at the wrong location. I'm sorry. How far are you from here? So now instantly I'm pissed because if you've ever been to Texas, you know, like driving in Texas is crazy. Like, and then especially on the weekend, especially downtown Dallas, like that is crazy. It's traffic. It's okay. Sorry about that because I don't got time for this neither. But anyways, sorry, y'all. Okay, yeah, definitely don't got time for that. But anyway, it was downtown Dallas, so I'm frustrated because it's a lot of traffic, it's a lot going on. They got like these things called turnarounds. I ain't never experienced a turnaround before until I came up here. It's like a legal U-turn, but it's a lot of them. It's called, it's just, okay, whatever. Y'all get the point. It's driving is different. It's different from driving in the city. Or in the city, I'm talking about Chicago, it's different from driving up there. Like, this whole driving thing down here is way different. So I was just real frustrated. Then, even though he was downtown, he was 15 minutes away from me because they downtown, Chicago downtown, like, it's a difference down there because you get to, and no, I'm not from Chicago because I do keep referring to, I used to live out in that area. I'm from Louisiana because if you don't know me, y'all probably like, oh, she must be from Chicago. She keep referring to Chicago. No, I'm not from there. Grew up around there. I know a lot of people from there. Okay, anyway, so in Chicago, like, they downtown is big, but it's like kind of like predictable. Like, it's kind of like a circle. If you get lost, you can find your way back. Like, I don't know, you can find your way. It's like a revolving little circle. Downtown Dallas is like a whole nother city. Like, if you get lost, you gonna end up, I don't know. Like, it was frustrating. So instantly I'm irritated. I'm going to this date irritated. So I get there and I had to pay $10 for parking because I didn't even know, like, it was free parking on the weekends. I don't know, whatever. I just paid for it. I'm like, whatever, it's $10. Like, I'm trying to get this over with because it was 9 o'clock and the restaurant closed at 10. Like I said, due to COVID, stuff was closing early. So it's like I just spent $10 on parking to meet with some stranger for an hour. He dang near is a catfish. So he didn't sent me off. I didn't rush after work. Like, I was just real irritated. So I end up seeing him. Like, I was calling him, like telling him I'm here. And I knew who he was because obviously when I called, you know, he's looking at the phone. So then I guess he figured like I'm calling because I'm there. So he turned around. And so when he turned around, I'm like, oh, buddy look better than the pictures. Like, I'm like, okay, jackpot, but it looks better than the picture. So I instantly get the text from my bestie like, he is fine. Like, girl, he is fine. So she like, I am not about to play with you. See, that's what you get. Da 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 da. So now I'm kind of like in a little better mood because I'm like, okay, like whatever. Like, you cute. You get a little pass. So the first thing, my facial expression like says it all. I'm looking at him like, because I was blue. I'm like, he like, you got an attitude? Yes, I honestly do. Because you sent me out. He like, I'm sorry. I gotta make it up to you. I gotta make it up to you. Long story short, that day, it started off wrong. It was like cool or whatever. It turned out to be cool. But I should have knew from the beginning, took the first sign. When all the wrong stuff was going, I should have took that sign. Didn't take it. So, after that, you know, we get the talking on the phone all the time. We get to hanging out all the time. If you know me, you will tell you, like, they be calling me the grandma, they be calling me the auntie, they be calling me the mama because I do not let people in my house. I do not be talking to dudes like that. Like, they be calling me a granny. Like, they in real life call me a granny. And I was letting him come over my house. Like, I let this man come out in public with me. Public. To one of my spots. I got the hoes at. And he texts me and like, what you doing? I'm out with the girls. Oh, well, I wanted to see you. Oh, well, I'm out with the girls. Like, you ain't my man, so my friends is gonna come first. My friends and my sister, like. And he, well, can I slide through for a little bit? I just want to have a drink with you. I promise I'll leave after that. I'm like, okay. Let the man come out with me. Danced on him, everything. Almost lost the hoes and everything. I had to take a moment because I can't even believe myself. Like, I let myself, like, I took the player hat off. I took the jersey off for a little while. For that nigga, okay. Because, baby, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, I just knew. Okay, I'm real picky when it comes to dudes. And I just knew, like, if I told y'all the last time I was in a relationship, nobody would believe me. Dudes don't believe me. They be like, I think you're lying. So you weren't talking to nobody? Yeah, I was talking to someone. I was talking to people. But we never were together. We never were official. So that doesn't count. But according to them, it counts. So, okay, boom. Let the dude come out with me. Let Andre, yes, Andre, let him come out with me. All that type of stuff. Met his kids, y'all. Met his kids. I forgot to even mention. I don't even talk to dudes with kids because I don't got none of my own. And I don't be liking to deal with baby mama drama. I don't like to be dealing with you still messing with the baby mamas. I don't like to deal with none of that. And I feel like I don't have to deal with it because I don't have to have a dude dealing with that because I ain't got no kids. So I feel like I can get the same respect. Like, I want to talk to somebody who don't got no kids. Like, I don't got no kids because I'm over here giving you a peace of mind that you can't give me. Like, the kids, everything. So, okay, so what ends up going on? Okay, like I said, everything's peaches and cream. He be telling me, like, he was like, y'all girls, y'all will understand this. He was giving me forehead kisses, always complimenting me. We was planning the future. It was just a lot of, like, I really thought I was about to be in a relationship. Like, I thought I was going, you know, be in a relationship for a little while. Like, I was going to put the, like, player hater jersey to the side. And y'all know how y'all be thinking, like, stuff is too good to be true. So, I ain't gonna lie. That thought came across my head. I'm like, this is too good to be true. Like, something about to go wrong. Something about to mess up. But then I switched it. Maybe because I wanted to switch it. And I was like, nah, Nay, like, you've been through a lot with dudes. So God, he actually showing you, like, you've been through all that stuff with dudes to get you the right one. So that's what I really honestly thought was happening. Like, at first I'm like, this too good to be. Then I'm like, you know what? Like, no, like, you deserve a good dude. You're a good woman. You got a good head on your shoulders. Like, you can ask my god brothers and like everybody. Like, they'll tell you, like, I'm a good woman. Like, I don't be out here, like, when I'm single, you know, I'm gonna be talking to people. That don't mean I'm gonna be freaking on people because I don't even like liking to do that. But that's besides the point. That's getting a little too into my business. But like, I'm single, you know, I'll be talking to dudes. But if I'm in a relationship, like, I'm gonna be faithful and I'm gonna be like a good woman. That's just like how I am. So I'm thinking, you know, I found the one, found Mr. Right. It's Labor Day weekend. And I will never forget, it's Labor Day weekend. So, of course, I goes over his house. And he had his son, too. The reason why I keep bringing up the son, I'm going to rewind. So, it was a point where, first of all, he told me about he has two baby mamas. He told me about his first baby mama. And he told me what happened with them and why they broke up and stuff like that. Of course, it was his fault. It was his fault. And, you know, he accepts it, blase. Then the second baby mama, he never really, like, I always wonder what happened with them. But he never, like, told me what happened with them. But I just kind of figured, like, in my head, they like messed around and then like the baby came, and then it was kind of one of them things because he never mentioned him. I'm sorry, he never mentioned her. Like, he mentioned the first baby mama. Like, he was like, when he would talk about her, he was like, you know, he messed up with her. She really loved him. Like, that's like he be. I was almost kind of like, dang, like, you still like her type stuff. Like, boy, like, what did you try to talk to me for? Sorry, y'all, it's allergy season and my nose ring don't be helping. But I was thinking like, dang, like, you low key, you still got feelings for her because how you be talking about her, like. But then I'm like, you know what? I can't even say nothing because everybody has their first love, and I know I have mine, and he gonna always be in my heart, like, regardless. Even though he, never mind, but like, yeah, I'm always have mine. He's always gonna be in my heart regardless. So I couldn't even say nothing because, yeah. And so like, he never really like said like not much about her, but I did always notice like he always had his kids. And I ain't gonna lie, at first I used to be kind of bothered because when I think of a single dad, I think of when the mom and the dad are broken up, I think of the mama having the kids 90% of the time and the dad's getting them every other weekend. That's just how like I see it in society. But then I have to tell myself like, nay, just because that's how you see it doesn't mean like that's how it really should be. I keep looking at the time because I said I wanted to be done at 30 minutes and it's 21 minutes, and so I need to like hurry up. Okay, so I was just kind of like, it doesn't know how I had to even talk with like people like my sisters and like you best friends, with the kids, like, y'all, am I being selfish? And they was kind of telling me like, yeah, Nate, like, in a way you being selfish, like, but they don't fault me for it because they know that I love kids, and that how, I don't know, they basically was like, don't trip over it. Because I wasn't tripping, because now I'm making it sound like I was tripping that he always had his kids. First of all, I really love kids. Second of all, I know that his kids come before me. Like, who am I? Nobody. I am just somebody you just met 3 months ago. You've been talking to for 3 months. I am not your girl. I am just some little shorty you talking to, your main piece, whatever you wanted me to be. But I wasn't your girl, and I knew your kids came first. And like, I like kids, and my kids gonna come before niggas and everybody else too. So no, I wasn't tripping on that. But I just thought it was like weird how he always had them, is my point, what I'm trying to say. Like, he always had them. But then I thought it was kind of cool because I'm like, he's a really good dad. Like, he's a good man. Like, one day when we have a family, he gonna be a good dad. So like now, I'm like whatever, he's gonna be a good dad. Da, da. So it's Labor Day weekend, and I go over his house. He got his son there. He got his son there, and yeah, we're just like chilling, blase blase. One of the times he had fell asleep, and he was kind of scaring me because like when he was sleeping, he got that condition, I don't know what it's called, I forgot, when you stop breathing in your sleep, and then like you be snoring and you stop breathing, and then you like you catch your breath, and then like you not come back to life, but you start breathing again. And so he had that, and it was literally scaring me because I never had to experience that. So when I couldn't sleep, like, I guess you could say I spent the night because I left at like 6 or 7 in the morning, and I couldn't sleep because like when he would start breathing, I would like tap him, I would shake him, I would like I don't know, I was just waking him, like trying to wake him up every time he like stopped breathing, because that was just real scary to me, and I felt like I had to watch over him to make sure like he started breathing again. That's just like the person I am. I'm like too caring for people sometimes. That's why I be ending up in some messed up situations. But anyway, so then he was telling me, like, before I came over, I was making a joke. Because I was supposed to come over, and then something happened where he like wasn't answering the phone, or something like weird was happening, I don't know. And I was like, tell your other chick I said hey, or whatever. And so he was like, girl, ain't nobody at this house. And he was like, this was me and my baby mama house, so I wouldn't even have no girls over here. He was like, you're gonna be the first girl over here. He was like, you're gonna be the first girl over here after her. So cause I don't even play like that. You know, like he talking like saying all this weird stuff. I'm like, okay. So then let me get out this phone. So then fast forward, okay, so it's time for me to go. It's the next day. Before I came over there, he was telling me, he was like, I really gotta talk to you about something when you get over here. And he was like, I got a lot going on. I really need somebody to talk to. I need somebody to vent to, remind me to talk to you when you come over here. Like, he was doing all this. So I was kind of like, I don't even know if I want to come over there, because it sounds like this about to be some weird stuff when I come over there. So I was kind of skeptical about going over there. But then obviously I still went. And it crossed my mind, like, nah, remind him to tell you what he had to talk to you about. But then, like, I'm like, nah, like, I'll remind him later. So then the night, like, I didn't end up reminding him, basically. So then the next day, like, you know, we're texting like all in the morning. He was asking me, what was I doing for Labor Day? And I told him I had to work. And he was like, oh man, that sucks, because I was going to tell you to come to the park and do this with me and my son, blase. Then I'm like, what you doing? He like, he gotta go pick up his family from the airport. So I'm like, oh, okay. And then that's when, you know, he was telling me he was going to the park and stuff like that. So mind you, I'm the type of female, like the dudes that I used to talk to would tell you, like, I'm a chill female. And it used to make them mad sometimes because how chill I am. Like, I just be too chill, because I honestly feel like what's done in the dark is going to come to the light. And I'm not going to stress myself over somebody who's not stressing themselves, like, over me. Like, I'm not about to, if you want to do what you want to do, like, do what you want to do. Like, I can't control your actions, and I'm not about to stress over your actions neither. Like, I'm going to have to just be a pimp, be a G, get over it, whatever. And that's just how I am. I'm just, like, real chill. Like, I don't be asking too many questions. And my bestie tells me that's one of my downfalls, because oh my gosh, I'm sorry, y'all. My nose keep itching. I'm trying not to go like this and look crazy in the camera. I just did it and look crazy in the camera. But she tells me that's one of my downfalls, because I don't ask a lot of questions, because I don't be wanting people to feel like I'm overbearing and that I'm in their business. And she was like, oh my gosh. Okay, it's allergy season, y'all. I promise. Like, I'm not digging in my nose, nothing. But she was telling me, you need to keep all in the camera. But she was telling me, like, that's one of my downfalls, that I'm too chill and I don't be asking a lot of questions. And that's why I be put in the situations that I'm in, because if all I did was have to ask 3 questions and I would have got some answers, or, you know, I would have, whatever. So basically that's one of my downfalls. I'm way too chill and don't ask questions. So that day goes on. I didn't bother him, because I feel like, you know, your family is out of town, coming in from out of town. You spend, you know, the weekend with your family. It's Labor Day weekend, whatever. So later that night, I had ended up seeing this meme that reminded me of him. And I sent it to him, but he has an iPhone and my messages turned green. So instantly wow, this nigga blocks me. This nigga blocks me. So I ended up calling him, and it went straight to voicemail talking about this is not a working number. So I'm like, wow, this nigga really blocked me. So I'm talking to my bestie. I'm like, guess what? Like, the number's not working. I tried to send him the thing, you know, whatever. So she ends up saying, like, girl, he went to go pick up another girl from the airport. And I was like, right. And I was like, and then he want to block my number for the weekend so he can do what he want to do with the girl. I said, then he gonna unblock me by like Monday. And she like, right. So, you know, we over here like talking mess, cracking jokes, doing this, doing that. And like, I was like, you know what? He's cut. Because that's just the type of person I am. Like, I really need to stop doing that, because as soon as a dude mess up or do one thing wrong, I be like, cut, like, and like, I'm done, like, whatever, throw it away, da-da-da. And she was like, girl, like, you really found somebody you actually like you cannot be cutting him off like that. Then I had, like, you know, my other friends telling me, like, girl, my finger burning. All right, y'all, I think something bit me. Anyways, like, she was like, girl, you be trying to cut people off too early. Like, everybody was telling me, like, I was doing too much. Basically, I'm being dramatic, and maybe he has an explanation and stuff like that. So, y'all know me. Can I see your phone? Like, let me call his number off of your phone. When I called the number, it was telling them, they phones the same thing. Like, this is not a working number. So, I knew, like, I wasn't blocked. I knew he ended up getting a new number, because if numbers that you don't have is calling you and is doing that, like, you can't block them. So, obviously you got a new number. So I'm like, wow, this nigga got a new number and I don't got it. Like, I feel like I'm supposed to be like at least one of the top 5 people to get the number. Like, you need the baby mamas to have the number, you need your mama, your daddy, and me needs your number. So I still was irritated. Like, you know what, I ain't even got the number, none of that. All right, so my friend was like, give it until like what she said, not Monday, because I was every day. She said, give it until Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm like, okay. Tuesday comes, still haven't heard from him, still don't got the number, so I'm irritated. So then I'm talking to my guy brother. He like, hey, sis, what's up with you in the dude? Like, because he knew, like, I really didn't like people neither. So he like, what's up with you and the dude, and I'm like, nothing's up. I don't know what's up. Like, I haven't heard from him. So, you know, he telling me, like, I'm being dramatic too, and I should just give it time, and maybe he got a good explanation, and I don't need to cut him off, and da-da-da. So, you know, everybody's on his side about the not cutting off. So, I'm like, okay. 1 day come, 2 day come, 3 day come, the next weekend come, the next week comes, so now it's 2 weeks. 3 weeks come. This is the end of the month, end of September. Still have not heard from this man. So at this point, I'm like, I got ghosted. And I thought it was so funny because I've never got ghosted before. Ever in my life. Fun fact. Out of my 24 years, I've never got ghosted. And I just thought it was so funny. Like, I was kind of like, Lord, this is childish. Like, why you let me get ghosted at 24 years old? Why you didn't let me get ghosted as a teenager? Why you wait till I'm grown, old, a granny with grandkids to get ghosted? Like, really? Really? So, ended up cracking jokes like how I got ghosted and stuff like that. And everybody's like, telling me, like, he's gonna come around, like, you're gonna get your answers. Like, everybody kept telling me, like, you're gonna get your answers, just ignore it. Because then, okay, I told y'all he was telling me, like, he had a lot going on, and then he was not breathing in his sleep. Like, so then I started getting worried. I'm like, did something happen to him? And so, like, that's where my mind started going. And so I started, like, feeling bad because I'm like, oh my goodness, what if something happened to him? And I'm over here cracking jokes about how, like, he got ghosted and how I got ghosted and stuff. But what if something really happened to him? So I was like, now I'm, like, feeling bad. Like, I started getting a guilty conscience and, like, you should have checked on him and like da. So then, fast forward, I'm like, you know what? It took me, like, I was mad for about 3 days. Like, the first 3 days when I was not hearing from him, I was irritated. Like, I was so irritated. Like, I wasn't showing it, but I was just irritated. Like, I didn't want to do nothing. Like, I was still acting normal, but in my body, I was just irritated. And every time the phone rang, you know, I'm thinking, like, oh, it's Andre. No, it wasn't Andre. So then they were irritating me more. So, but after that, like, I was cool. Then I started getting worried. So then I'm like, you know what? Like, I still gotta continue, you know, my show, my dating show. So he was just gonna be like the first candidate, like up, like he ghosted, like, you know, like it was gonna be kind of like a joke or whatever, like up, well he's gone, like 4 more left, because I was gonna pick 5 dudes, so I'm like 4 more left. So I went on a date with this dude, and he calls, like, his nickname, I know his real name, but his nickname is Picasso. I didn't understand that, because I'm like, how you gonna steal somebody else's name for your nickname? But I guess one of the things he do, I'm talking about, but I guess one of the things he do on the side, he's an artist, so like his friends and everybody, they call him Picasso. And I'm gonna just use his name. I'm gonna just say Picasso, because I know he probably don't want his real name out here. Dang. And so I go on a date with him. We go to Dave and Buster's. Now, mind y'all, you know, like, I meet him off the app too. So if you know me, like, when you first meet me, I'm gonna come off as like quiet, like everybody think, you know, like, oh, she's the quiet, the innocent, like the good girl, da da da. But then if you see me like go out, if I go to a club, I turn into like my sis Meg Thee Stallion. That's my sis. So like I turn like, you know, like her. So then everybody be like, girl, I didn't even know you act like that. I thought you was like holy and goody and this and that. I'm like, I'm both, and I just balance it. So like I was quiet, you know, like kind of not standoffish, but you know, just like, you hungry? Nah, you wanna do this? Yeah, you know, like cool. So he like, you nervous? I'm like, nah, I'm actually straight. He like, you straight? I'm like, yeah. He like, am I the first dude like you met off the app? I'm like, nah. He like, well, what happened to other dude? And I'm like, I don't know. And he like, what you mean you don't know? I'm like, I honestly don't know. And so he like, I'm like, I'm serious. He like, okay. So, you know, we're playing the games, doing, you know, enjoying the day, da da da. I actually did have fun, I ain't even gonna lie. And so then, you know, we go get something to eat, and he ends up bringing up Andre again. And he like, you wanna know something? I'm like, what? He like, I just don't get it. He was like, I feel like you're probably crazy. And he was like, I feel like you hiding something. He was like, you seem a little sneaky. I'm like, wait, what? Like, where is this coming from? And he was like, because he was like, you quiet. He was like, you don't say much. Like, I don't, basically, I was, like, he was trying to ask, like, a whole bunch of personal questions about me. And I felt like, I don't know you like that, so you cannot be asking me all these types of questions. That's just how I felt. Like, he was just trying to get too deep into like me. Like, let's just, for example, I don't remember all the questions, but like if he would say something like, no, who was your first, I don't know, just like weird, like personal stuff, like your first love, like this, like I don't know, it was just like getting real personal. And it wasn't even just about like first love type stuff, it was just like real personal into me, like how many dudes you talk to, I don't know, it was just like a lot. It was just getting real into me, like me. And I just felt like he was just doing too much. I don't even know you like that. Like, can you ask the basic questions like, where are you from? What's your favorite color? Da, 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 da. He was going straight for the gut, straight for the kill, and I was not ready for that. And so I was telling him, I'm not quiet or sneaky, but you know, you coming at me a little hard. So he like, well, I'm just not understanding. He was like, because you seem like a good girl. He was like, you seem like you got your head on straight. He was like, you're attractive. And he was like, I'm just not understanding, like, basically what went wrong with you and dude. Like, you don't know you basically telling me everything was good with you and dude, and now all of a sudden, like, y'all not talking and you don't know what happened. He was like, it just don't add up to me. Now, don't get me wrong, that story do sound like kind of fishy, like, like you don't know what happened. But I honestly really didn't know what happened. So I told him, like, I feel like it's weird that you trying to talk to me about another dude on a date. I'm like, nah, that's weird to me. Like, what you so worried about him for? And he was just kind of like, it ain't like I'm worried about him. He like, I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with you. Like, what's the issue? Like, why y'all? So I'm like, oh, now something's wrong with me. So now it's just, me and this dude going back and forth. He's a Scorpio. And if y'all know anything about Scorpios, y'all know. Y'all already know what I was going through. So, I ended up basically telling him like the gist of the story. Like, me and dude, you know, we met up. Everything was going good from there. Like, we was talking for 3+ months. He was coming over. I was going over there. Met his kids. I died. Everything was good. The night before, he went missing or whatever. I was at his house. Everything was good. We was talking about this and that. And he just got a new number. Never heard from him again. So he has the nerve to, like, Picasso I'm talking about, has the nerve to, like, switch the script on me and say, like, you're such a bad person and you're full of yourself and you got an ego. Like, he just starts talking about me. I'm like, wait, what? So now I'm like, wait, what's really going on? Is this a setup? Like, how come you on this nigga side all of a sudden? Like, what's really going on? So he ends up saying, like, basically, like, what did he tell me? I had too much pride. He was like, he was like, did you go over there and check on him? And I was like, no, why would I go to his house? And he was like, I'm like, he was like, because like, you didn't hear from him. You didn't think to go to his house and check on him. I said, why would I go to his house and check up on him? I was like, he cut me off. He ghosted me. I said, I have accepted it. I said, he probably got another girl over there. I said, he could have had another girl over there. I said, he could be living with a girl. I said, I don't know what's going on at that house. I said, but I'm not trying to come over there interfering with nothing, interrupting anything. Like, because that's just not me. That's not my mojo. And so he like, no. He was like, because he was like, I just feel like you got too much pride. He was like, if you don't care if it's another girl in there, if you just worry. He was like, you was just telling me how this man would stop breathing in his sleep. And how he was telling you he had a lot going on and he really needed to talk to you and all this type of stuff, but you didn't even go over there to check on him. He was like, you was dang near his girl. If y'all was talking and going steady for 3 months, you dang near might as well say that was your boyfriend. And for you not to go over there, you know, that's bogus and da-da. So now I'm starting to feel bad because first of all, I was already thinking, like, what if something happened to him and I really didn't know and I'm sitting here mad. Now he over here throwing it in my face like dang near like I am a bad person or something. So I was just sitting there like just irritated, like dang, like I'm like thinking like dang, like Andre, how you gonna come and you not even here? You ruining my date. Like just had really blew me. And so he basically told me, he was like, I feel like you should go over there and you know, you should talk to him and find out what happened. He was like, at least for closure for you. He was like, at least so you would know, you know, what happened, why he did what he did, or whatever. And he was like, and so I'm like, basically like, okay, like, I'm gonna go see, I like sticking up like this. No, I don't. Okay. But I was basically like, okay, like I'm gonna go see what was wrong with him or whatever. So I had ended up deciding, after I decided that, like, I'm not about to go knock on that man's door. Like, for real, I'm not about to go knock on that man's door, because what if he really do got a girl up in there? And what if, like, I was really not trying to be on that, ruining the family, have a girl come at me crazy. Now I gotta fight the girl because she thinking I'm messing with him and we really not messing around. I'm really coming over here trying to be a concerned citizen, concerned, caring human being, and stuff like that. So I'm like, nah, I'm not even gonna do that. I said, but what I will do is I'll go over there and I'll leave a note in his mailbox. And I was like, just because of the simple fact that if he, you know, since he live alone, like when he opened his mailbox, it's gonna be a note for me and he'll see it. So just in case, you know, like if he do got a girl over there, whatever, I'm pretty sure he not gonna let her check the mailbox. And you know, like whatever, like so he could see. So I ended up telling my sister and my friend, I'm like, because my friend, she was one of the ones too, like, girl, we need to go pull up. Let's go pull up. Because he lives, I'm not about to say that part. But, yeah. She was just basically telling me, you know, like, we need to go pull up at his house or whatever. So I'm like, nah, like I'm not about to like I'm not that pull up type of chick because I really don't, like I told y'all, I be chilling, like I don't do all that. Like I'm the girl like that the friends call like, hey, like I need you to come on, like we about to go do this. Like I'ma come, like I'ma help you do what you gotta do. But that ain't me. I'm not the one trying to go pull up and fight my nigga. But if you wanna pull up and fight your nigga, or we gonna do it a high speed chase, whatever you need to do, I'm down to ride with you. Like you call me, like I'ma do it. So I tell her like, you know, like I'm gonna end up going over there or whatever. She like, okay, now she trying to make this into like a game. She like, okay, well we gotta wear all black, and I'm gonna be like, I need to see, like I need to peep through the window, see if he breathing, see if he alive. But the reason why she felt like that too was because her uncle had ended up, he stopped breathing in his sleep, and he ended up dying in his sleep. So when she found out like how I was nervous about him, she really felt like, you know, I should go check on him too, because she just, you know, was scared, like, you know, that hit home or whatever. So she like, you know, whatever. Now she's trying to turn this into a game. So I'm like, okay, so what did me and my sister and her end up doing? We wore all black. We didn't, her car is black, so you know, we drove her car instead of my car. And this was I believe it was a Tuesday. I know it was a weekday. I believe it was a Tuesday. Don't get me wrong. And I mean, I said don't get me wrong. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I do believe it was a Tuesday. And so we go up over there, and when we get there, of course, like I'm nervous because I see like a whole bunch of cars in his driveway that I just never really seen before. So my sister was like, Nay, do you think the family's still here? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, but it is a lot of cars, you know, in his driveway or whatever. And I'm like, something got to be going on because he don't got this many cars, and it's only him who live here. So I'm confused, you know, of like where all the cars would be coming from. And she like, well, maybe the family stayed in town. And she was like, maybe something is really wrong with him, and that's why the family stayed in town. So now, you know, everybody still got me feeling bad. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So I get out the car and I have the note, and I walk to the door. I'm walking to, you know, his door. No, I get out the car. I'm talking about walking to his door. And I'm trying to find the mailbox. Now, mind you, it's some places in Texas where, how can I explain it? Okay, you know how when you think of a house, you think of a mailbox, you're thinking like, you know, you open the mailbox, put the note in, close it, boom, whatever. No, in Texas, sometimes the housing complex, each like street or whatever, they have a I call it an apartment mailbox. It will be like, you know, like the big like square like box or whatever with the different mailboxes, and like the mail the person can, you know, unlock the whole mailbox, put the mail in, and then your key unlocks the certain door to whatever your number is. That's how this specific housing edition, his housing edition, had the mailboxes. So I wasn't able to put the notes in the mailbox. So I'm like, like I didn't came all this way because he lives in a different city than I do. And I'm like, I didn't came all this way to put this in the mailbox, and like I couldn't even put it in the mailbox. So now what I'm supposed to do? So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just put it at the door. So I go and I put it at the door. No, that's not even what happened. I'm over here lying. So okay. So I go over here, and as I'm walking to the door, a car pulls up. So my heart instantly dropped. I'm having a panic attack. I'm having an anxiety attack because I'm like, what do I do? So, you know me, I'm like, you know what? Just turn around, walk back, get into the car. Because at this point, I was the only one who got out the car. Because they like, you know what? Just go up there, run to the door, and, you know, run back. So, as I'm like walking back, I'm panicking. I'm panicking as I'm getting in the car. So I ended up, you know, getting in the car, and we watching the people get out the car. I'm like, turn off the lights, you know, tell her to turn off the car lights, whatever. So we're watching the people get out, and it's like a girl and a dude, And they like, is that Andre? Is that Andre? I'm like, that's my sister and my friend. I'm like, no, that's not him. And they're like, okay. So I'm like, you know what? Forget this. Like, I don't know. He got too many people up over here. Oh, sorry, y'all. It sounds like my dog doing something and he's bad. But I'm like, it's so many people up over here. Like, you know, like, forget it. Like, I'm just not about to do it. I'm not about to do it. So they like, nah, like, my friend was like, give me the note. I'm gonna go take it up to this door because, like, we didn't come out here. She said, you got me in this all black. You got me out here. You didn't drug me out from what I was doing to come take this note. So I'm like, okay. So I give her the note and we're walking. Like, I'm walking in the street though because I don't want to be by the house. So when we walk through the street, I obviously know, like, okay, so I see Andre through the window. Like, it's the door and, you know, like the living room window. I see him through there. Like, I see his shadow. And what it looked like, because I've been in his house, so I'm like putting two and two together, it looked like he was messing with his radio to put music on for the party or whatever's going on in the house. So I'm like, that's him, that's him. And she like, hell no, like, you know, like, I'm about to just go knock on this door and give him the note because we think it's something wrong with this nigga having a whole party. She like, and we ain't even invited to the party. Like, you know, she over here being dramatic and doing too much. And so I'm like, girl, no, go put this note on this door, put the rock on top of it, and let's go. Like, we didn't come here for all of that. We're not knocking on no doors. I was telling her, like, I don't want to be involved in none of that stuff. I said, because I'm already feeling awkward. Like, I've never had to do nothing like this for me. So, like, if he was to open the door and see me, like, the nigga is the one who ghosted me. So he gonna be shocked to see the ghost that he done threw away in a girlfriend's past, ghost of girlfriend's past. He gonna be shocked to see her at the door. So I'm like, no, like, we're not doing this. This is for me, not for you. I want mine to be simple and let's go. So she's almost at the door and another car pulls up. Now this time I'm walking like real fast because I'm in the street, but obviously we parked away from the house. We parked down. You know, when you do a pull up, you can't park in front of the house and you can't park the house next door. You gotta park down the street because you don't need to see the car. You can't, you know, have people noticing you nothing. So I'm walking up, walking real fast, and I hear her calling me. She like, Nay, what do I do? What do you want me to do with this note? I'm like, girl, forget the note. Let's go. Don't not drop that off because the woman, okay, it was a woman who pulled up and she seen us. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about if this woman seen us or anything because me and my sister in the street, my friend is literally almost at their door. So it's like she's walking back. She has to walk past the woman. I'm walking fast this way. My sister started running. So it's literally all these girls in black got a lot going on around her house. And I'm like, bro, let's go. Like, let's go. Because I'm like, I don't know who's in that house. I'm like, because you know, I know like they got guns and stuff in the house too. So I'm like, if they come out here trying to shoot, I'm like, do we even got our guns? Where's your guns? Like, what's really going on? Like, no, let's go. So we get in the car and I know, like I said, I know the woman seen us. She like literally was watching us drive away, everything. So she ends up going in the house or whatever. So they end up, my sister like, we about to go to jail. We were going to jail for stalking. I'm like, girl, we ain't even stalking. I'm like, I literally came over here to drop off a note. I said, it's a lot going on. And they like, why would you pick the night? It's a party going on. They're like, you know, like everybody get mad at me acting like it's my fault. And I'm like, bro, I picked a Tuesday, a night where his kids have school in the morning. So I'm thinking that he didn't put the kids down. They all in the house sleeping sound. This was supposed to be a peaceful trip for me to come over here, drop this note off and go. But instead, he want to have a party on a Tuesday. And the kids got school tomorrow. And in Texas, you physically go to school. So the kids got school tomorrow. And you want to have a party. Now you got us out here looking crazy. So we ended up, everybody adrenaline was just too high, and we ended up going out for drinks that night. So I told them, I said, you know what, like, I want to get this over with, because at the end of the day, I had felt like I hadn't thought about like Andre and stuff since the first week he ghosted me. But he kept popping up. Like, my brother asked about him, my god brother had asked about him, my god sister had asked about him. I think my mama asked, like, Nay, what happened to the dude that you was going on them dates with? Then who put the icing on the cake? Picasso. He put the icing on the cake when he told me, you know, like, I was bogus for not checking up on him and this and that and this and that. So that's what really made me, it was Picasso. So I just felt like I had told them, like, nah, I'm coming back. I'm coming back in the middle of the night and I'm dropping off this note. I said, because I feel like God is trying to give me my closure, and he trying to see how far I would go for the closure. Like, do I really want the closure? Like, I felt like I was being tested, basically. I felt like I was being tested. And to get my answers, like, I had to do, you know, what I had to do to get my closure. So after we had the drinks and stuff, mind y'all, I had to get up for work at 5:30 in the morning, and this was late at night. This was kind of late because I was like, he normally put his kids to bed around 9 o'clock. So this was after 9 o'clock that we out here doing all this stuff, going to the house, and then we still went for drinks after that. So we got in pretty late, and then I still, like I said, we in a different city, so I had to drive back to my city. So I was like, I'm gonna get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm gonna come back over here, and I'm gonna drop off this note, and then I'm gonna just, you know, let whatever happens from there. So I ended up doing what I said I was gonna do. I set my alarm for 3 o'clock in the morning. I left at around 3:30. I had got one of my bubble mailers, and I had wrote a note on there, to Andre from Chardonnay, taped it on my little bubble mailer. I had a rock, like, we got rocks and stuff right here. I picked up a rock, drove it to his house, ran, you know, put it at his door, put the rock, boom. And my bubble mailers, I should have had one so y'all could see. I mean, I got a whole bunch in my business stuff, but that's besides the point. But they're hieroglyphics, so, you know, it's shiny, like, it's, you're not gonna miss it, and it's right on your doorstep with this big old rock, so you're not gonna miss it. So around this time, stuff was going good for me. I had just started, like, this other job. I had just left my old job for this new job, and so we were still in our training process. So then that, like, at 8 o'clock, from 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 a.m., my phone was, like, blowing up, ringing, like, blowing up. Like, it would ring the whole time, and it would stop, and then, like, it would ring again. Like, it was like a, you know, to the end, ring again. Like, and it just kept doing that. It was to the point, like, the trainer in the class, she calls me, like, her adoptive daughter, because she don't have a daughter. She only has a son. She always wanted a daughter. And then, you know, she calls me her adoptive daughter. So she like, who's calling you? Like, your phone is, like, really going up. It was to the point, like, everybody, ooh, excuse me. That is so nasty. Okay. Excuse me, y'all. That is freaking disgusting. But, for real, body, like, you could have waited to do that. But, anyway, like, it was going off to the point, like, everybody was hearing it, and, you know, she's like, are you sure it's not an emergency? Like, do you need to step out and go get it? Because your phone is really going up. I'm like, no, I don't even know who it is. But mind you, the number that was calling is from the same city that Andre live in. And I was looking at my Apple Watch to see, like, because normally, like, you know how you call somebody and then they don't answer, you send a text like, hey, this is so-and-so, answer the phone. So I didn't have none of them texts, so I'm like, this the girl. I was like, this is a girl. I said, because only a girl is gonna blow your phone up how this phone was blowing up. When I say, y'all, I have proof in my phone. It was from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And I know it was to 10 a.m. because my break is at 10 a.m. And the phone, and she was like, do you want me to answer it? And then she was like, because if you really don't know who it is, it could be an emergency. She's like, you want me to answer it for you? And I was gonna let her answer it for me, but I was like, nah, because this is a new work environment. I don't need people in my business. I don't even have people in my business, and that's just like kind of messy because I kind of got an idea of who it is. So I'm like, nah, like, you know what, they'll be okay. They just gonna have to wait till my break. I'll hit them up on my break. And so she like, okay. So my break come, and I see messages. I'm about to read them to y'all. This is Andre. Call me. I understand you were concerned, but I stepped away because I knew I wasn't living how I was supposed to live. I really need to talk to you. So you come by my house and cannot answer. If you don't respond, I'll be coming by your house tonight. Not okay. No drama shit. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot I was recording. For you to come to my house and then not have the decency to at least respond when I call you isn't cool. But I need to set the record straight and talk to you. So you not gonna answer? I'm not trying to argue none of that. I'm trying to set the record straight. Now, mind you, the reason why I feel like he was getting so mad is because when me and him was talking, I was working from home. But now, like, I don't work from home. I work in the office. So I feel like he just felt like I was ignoring him on purpose. And so I told him, I'm like, I have a new job. I don't work from home anymore. I can't answer the phone right now. And okay, that's fine. I'm not scared, like whatever, pull up at my house. So he proceeds to say, what time you off? I didn't text back because I was back in work. Then he sends a question mark. And so then on my lunch break, I text him back. I'm like, you could come around 7 or later. And so, he sends a thumb up. He steady texting me, talking about, I got to pick up my son around 6. I'm going to be there around 7. Like, he's doing all this stuff to make it known, like, I'm coming over there, like I'm coming, like, I'm supposed to be scared of something. I'm like, okay, like, come, like, okay. So then he like, well, it really don't make no sense in me driving there tonight, especially because I'm going to have the kids, but I'm going to call you. She told me she texted you. I'm going to just put it all out there so we can get an understanding and just go from there. Pause. She who? Because nobody texts my phone. A she did not text my phone. The only he who texted my phone was Andre. So now I'm like, it is because of a female. Like, let's see what's really going on. So I'm like, well, I was like, I'd rather talk to you in person, her, whatever you got to say. I'm like, but I understand if you got the kids, then you can't come. I'm like, you can just call whenever. He like, okay, around 9 or so. I'm like, that's fine. Let's get out. I almost deleted them. I don't be deleting messages, so. Anyway, back to the story. He ends up calling me. Now, the first thing this man says when I answer the phone, he like, hello? I'm like, hello? He like, what you doing? Nothing. All right, I got a question. Me, what's up? When you came to drop off the note by yourself, was you by yourself? I'm sorry, when you came to drop off the note, was you by yourself or was you with 2 other girls? So mind you, my first instinct, I was like, I'm not telling that nigga like that was me and my friend and my sister, because I don't want him to feel like I was stalking him, because in all honesty, I have not been stalking him. I have not worried about him. I have not brought him up. Everybody was telling me I'm a bad person, so I need to go to your house. So I'm feeling like I'm really the bad person and gotta go up over there and try to figure out if you alive, if you okay, if you good and dandy. So I'm like, nah, I'm not about to tell this man that was me at his house, because it's gonna make me look like I'm crazy and I'm stalker, and that's just not me at all. So then I'm like, nope, I dropped off the note by myself, because mind you, I did drop off the note by myself. I was not lying. I dropped off the note at 3 o'clock in the morning by myself. So that's how I got away with that, because I really, like, if I literally didn't go drop off that note, I was really gonna tell him like, yeah, like, that was us. Like, I was just gonna say it because I'm like, it ain't no point of, I ain't gonna say lying, but I would have been like, I would have just said yeah, but in all honesty, it didn't make no sense because then I dropped off the note at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, I gotta tell this man I was over there 2 nights. Nah, that sounds a little creepy. So I'm like, nope, that wasn't me. And like, I could tell he knew it was me because I literally was like, nope, that wasn't me. So he like, I'm gonna ask you one more time, like, was that you? Like, ask me one more time, like he my daddy or something. Boy, sit down. So I'm like, nope, that wasn't me. He like, okay. Like, it was kind of like a, okay, like, yeah, I know you're lying. But anyway, this is why I'm calling you. So when he did it like that, I'm like, well, I mean, you think it's me anyway, and it really was me. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, everyone answers. It's like kind of answer. But let me figure out, what you really got going on. So he ends up telling me, he's like, okay, well, I'm going to just let it all out there and we can decide what we're going to do from here. Like, me and you can decide what we're going to do from here. So I'm kind of like, me and you decide. Like, decide what? Because there's nothing going on. We're not going to decide anything because we're done. Like, whatever we had going on is done. And he like, when I first met you, I was engaged. And I took that pause because when he told me that, y'all, I was pissed. And I wasn't pissed that it was another woman involved. I was not pissed about that. Because at the end of the day, we was both single. You could have been doing what you wanted to do. At the end of the day, what I was pissed about was because I do not mess with dudes that have girlfriends. I am not like the, I may be singing the city girl stuff. Some of the stuff I agree with. But like the type, like, I'm not no, you have a woman and I'm the side piece type of chick, because I would never be acceptable. I said I would never be acceptable, girl. That would never be acceptable to me to be a side piece. Like, what the heck? Like, I don't even know how girls be okay with that, like being a side piece. Like, oh, he may go home to you, but he be doing this with me. So you like okay with being a side, like, I don't know. No, I would never agree with being no side piece. And that's just not me. So I was literally pissed. And I was pissed because the first thing that I'm not going to deal with and talk to, nothing like that, is a married man. I am not going to do that. And you wasn't married, but you was close enough to being married. So I was pissed. And I felt like you put me in a position to like mess up a happy home and stuff like that involuntarily. And I did not like that because that's just not me. And now I'm over here a mistress and shit because of you. You gave me a title that I didn't even want, didn't even ask for. And all I was doing was minding my business in Texas, trying to make my show. You the first nigga that I talked to in Texas, came out here fresh to start, and you already got me caught up in some mess. Like, I was real life pissed. I was pissed. So I'm engaged. Like, he like, yeah, I was engaged, and he was like, a month after me and you started talking, we decided to call it quits. Pause. It ain't no we decided to call it quits. I know she decided to call it quits because she probably caught that nigga cheating. Because let me tell you, when I first met him, I knew he was a hoe, and I told him he was a hoe because he was telling me, because he had asked me, like, am I the first dude that you met off the line? I'm like, honestly, yeah, like, and I was kind of nervous to be here, but everybody has my location and this and that, and people know this, and like, whatever. I was just telling him, like, yeah. And so I was like, am I the first girl, like, you met off? He like, nah. He like, I done met a lot of girls. He's like, I done met some cool girls. He was like, it was this one girl. We was real cool. He was like, but she lived too far. That's the only reason we didn't work. And he was telling me about this one girl who was talking about giving him whatever, like oral type of things. He was telling me about this one girl who was sending him pictures. He was telling me about this one girl who like went crazy and kind of stalked him. Like, he was telling me about a whole bunch of girls. So for him to be telling me about all them type of girls, I know she probably had to catch him. like she had to catch him cheating and decided to call it quits. And cheating is definitely in his history, because that's why him and the first baby mom broke up, because he was cheating on her like a dog, and she found out, and that was the end of that. So I feel like she found out that he was cheating and she broke it off. It wasn't no we, it was a she. So then he like so then we decided to break it off. And he was like, but we did come up to an agreement that since we live in the house together, the lease is almost over, so we was just gonna, basically they was gonna live together till the lease was over and then go their separate ways. But the only rule that they had was like, you can't bring, like neither one of them could bring whatever that they had going on back to the house. So then I'm sitting here like, it all is making sense. I was always questioning how you always had your youngest son, and that's because he lives with you. You and your baby mom, your second baby mama, were living together. Y'all was a family. Like, that's why you always had your second son. And then the reason why you was saying, like, didn't nobody come to that house besides your baby mama was because couldn't nobody come to your house because of your baby mama, because that's where she lives. So it was kind of like everything started adding up. So then he was like, and then that weekend that you came over, she was out of town in California. Boom. Added up again, because he told me he had to go pick up a family member from the airport. Nope, you had to go pick up your baby mama from the airport. So it was just like, when he was telling the story, everything just started falling into place. Everything that I had questions about, it just started falling into place. And he was like, that he was like, basically what happened was, and he did change his number because of me. He said he knew he had messed up and he knew he was doing wrong. And so what he did was he changed his number, tried to like delete, like erase everything in his past, basically. So he changed his number, and he was like, and I know, like, I was wrong for that. I should have talked to you, and I should have talked to her and explained to y'all what was really going on, but I'm doing it now. I'm getting it all out in the air now. And he was basically saying like, what happened, he was like, it was a coincidence, because the day before you found the note, we had friends over there. We were talking about like who gonna get our son, and like what days, and like basically talking about like all kind of like splitting up type of stuff, like, and they friends was there as like the mediators. And he was like, and so then like the next day, he was like, after they had like that little meeting or whatever, the note came. And he was like, so he just felt like it was God, and like God worked in mysterious ways, and he just felt like that was God. And yeah. And so that was basically it. Like, that was all really he gave me. Oh, he said that the baby mama, like how she found the note was she was taking the kids to school, and he normally takes his kids to school, but she took this because he works from home. But she took this kids to school, and well, they sent them to school. She seen the note, and she basically let him know, like, I found a note for you, like, at the door. And he said he already knew what was up. So I do believe that she did open the note, and I do believe that she did read the note before she gave it to him. But I feel like she could kind of tell in the note, like, it was kind of like I was legit concerned, because she did not hit me up. And I feel like normally when women hit another woman up, it's because they still have questions. They still want to know like what happened. Then they still be mad at the girl, because they feel like the girl like know or knew or whatever. So what I feel like what really happened is like she could tell like by the note, because it was just basically something like I was telling, I don't know, it was kind of, I forgot what I said in the note, but it was kind of like you was telling me that you had a lot going on or whatever, and then like your number stopped working, like, are you good, just let me know that you're okay. Like, it was kind of like a concern note, like, hit me up if you can. Like, it was like a concern note. It wasn't no like I miss you and this. It wasn't like nothing like that. It was just like a legit concern note. So I feel like she was kind of like she was tripping, but she wasn't tripping that bad. But you know, like she was telling him, you know, like you like girl, get it out. I specifically told you don't have your girls at the house and you did it anyway. Like, what if she was crazy and this and that and you had her around my son? Like, you know, she was pissed about that. But I do understand, you know, why she felt like that, because I would have felt like that too. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, you have a girl like in the house where I still pay bills at, where I lay my head at, where I stay at. You had her in the house and then you had her around my child and you not even knowing like if she's crazy or not or nothing like that. Like, I mean, I know he know I'm not crazy, because if she really knew how much we was hanging out and doing all this type of stuff, but it's still like the simple fact, like, she don't know me, and I would feel the same way too. Like, I don't know her, so I wasn't mad at her or nothing. But yeah, that's what ended up happening with him, and I had ended up telling him, I ain't gonna lie, I told him, I'm like, I'm real disappointed in you, Andre. Like, I was talking to him like a kid. I'm like, I'm very disappointed in you, and he ain't say nothing. And then I was like, you didn't learn from the first time, like from the first baby mama? He like, no. I'm like, well, ain't that obvious? So, you know, like, he's just sitting on the phone, and he was kind of like, he was pissing me off, because I'm like, dude, like, you don't have nothing to say. Like, I don't know, like, I just didn't even care. Like, it was to a point where I literally stopped listening to him, and that's why I really can remember the conversation, because it was just like, I didn't even care. Like, once he told me he had a fiance, and like, at the beginning or whatever, that had really pissed me off, and I was just kind of like losing focus after that. But I had told him I was disappointed in him, and I was like, I can't believe like you was the first dude like I really liked in a long time. And so whatever, so I told him, you know, like, bye, like, I don't even care, like, if you got anything else to say, like, whatever, like, bye. And he like, bye. So that's that story. And that's what happened too, because people been asking me like, what happened to the dude you was talking to? That's what happened with us. Yes, this is recent. This is the month of October. It is October, what's today? It's October 26th. This happened this month. Like, when I went on a date with Picasso, that was National Boyfriend Day. So that was sometime in October, and you know, Labor Day was in September. So yeah, this is just like a recent event in my life. That's what happened to him. Yeah, so just like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And on the comments, like, I really want to know from different people, like, what y'all would have done differently. Like, would y'all have knocked on the door? Would y'all have even went over there? Would you have left a note like I did? Would you have went to go pop up on him? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of curious to see, like, what are y'all inputs on it? Because I felt like I should have stayed where I was at. Like, I should have stayed where I told myself in the beginning. And I was just, like, listening, like, to other people. So, yeah, I want to hear what y'all got to say. Because my cousin, she was all like, leave a note, girl. I would have knocked on the door and this and that. Like, would y'all have even went to go back and leave the note after the first night? Or the first night, would you have, like, just knocked on the door or left a note that night or talked to the, like, I'm kind of curious of, like, what y'all would have done differently. So, yeah, leave that in the comments. And I will catch y'all later. I'm gonna just, I need to go take a shower and get ready for the night. So, yeah, that's the end of my story time.